Hello everyone, today I am joining you from my daughter's kitchen and we're going to do this Halloween special. There she is, you know this girl, Jessie. So we're going to do a sort of Halloween edition, and her best friend Brittany, here she is. She will be showing us today how to create a fantastic and delicious charcuterie board. So come on and see what we're doing. Okay, Brittany, show us what you've got.
All right, so a lot of people believe that charcuterie boards are just throwing a bunch of stuff onto a cutting board and calling it a day. And while that is partially true, there is an art to it and there are ways that you can elevate your charcuterie board. And I'm going to be doing that today by creating a strawberry reduction that I will then fold into a half piece of brie for a spread. So to do that super easy, you take washed strawberries. I use the greens and everything. Everything's edible. You don't need to waste none or want none. So I'm just going to dump all these right in here. And the water content for the strawberries is high enough that you don't have to add anything else in there. You can squish them down. They're going to get blended anyways. You can crush them. Take all your frustration out on these strawberries. Yeah, strawberries. How dare you? Talking about my mom.
Take that.
That's good. All right, so we got the strawberries blended, and here I have a portable gas stove that I will turn on, and then I will set mine to about medium hot, medium low, because it's a gas stove and it burns real fast. And then I'm just going to pour in my strawberry puree. What I can, this is one of my flexible ones because I need it to cut the brie. And then I'm going to stir constantly, because if you don't stir constantly, it is going to start sticking to the bottom. And then you're going to add some sugar. I don't have an exact amount of sugar. It kind of depends on how much strawberries you're going to be using. You can always add more, but you can't take any out, so it's something that you want to do slowly. And then you're just going to sit here and let it simmer until it just reduces a little bit.
The fact that cocoa was actually
on. Make sure to get the sides. All right, so you're gonna start seeing it foam on the top. That's great. That's how it's gonna start slowly reducing. That's the sugars activating into it and boiling. All right, so we're getting to about that time, so I'm gonna turn this off. And then what you're looking for is almost a syrupy, but still a little bit liquidy. You want it to still meld in real well to your cheese. So don't go too far with the reducing and turn it into like a whole jam. That's not what you're wanting. Now, this is going to be too hot for the brie immediately, so just set it off to the side for now. And then we're going to start creaming the brie. So I will show you that. All right, so here I have the brie with just the same spatula I was stirring in. I like to do this because it keeps the spatula hot from the syrup. So I just start cutting into it. As you can see, I left the rind on here, and the reason for that is I like the texture that it gives personally. If you want to take the rind off, live your best life, all right? I'm not your dad. All right, so now that we've let this cool off for about 10-15 minutes, you still want it to be hot because it still has to melt the cheese, but you're gonna take a little ladle that you stole from your ex-boyfriend's family, and then you're and then you're going to just scoop a scoop at a time. It's important to keep in mind that brie is a pretty light flavor, so whatever you're going to put in here, how much ever you're going to put in here is going to make it pretty strong. So, and then just go back to how you were before, cutting into it like that, and just slowly mix it. And it's going to melt, and basically what you're trying to do is turn it into a nice spread. After about 2 minutes of creaming it, you're gonna get this texture. It's gonna look lumpy, but that's what you want. You want this like real soft, liquidy, it's gonna be a dip. So the chunks are gonna add that texture I was telling you about with the rind. I don't know if it's good. And now we're going to go ahead and test it. That's exactly what you want. All right, now that it's perfect like me, you're going to scrape down the sides. Just make sure you get everything in there. I have changed spatulas just to make sure I get every little bit because money's tight, you know? So you're gonna scrape that down. Then you're gonna move it into a small little dipping bowl. And you're just gonna set that off to the side. Now you are gonna have a lot of leftover strawberry. That's totally fine. You're gonna put that in your margaritas later. I promise you, you're not gonna regret it. All right, so the first part about building a charcuterie board is you always wanna start with the biggest borders, I guess I should say. So if you're going to put your little, like a little accent piece, just go ahead and put it wherever you want, and then you will build around it. So I'm gonna put this one in this little corner right over there. And then from there, you're gonna start with the crackers, because your crackers are basically going to be the guide for everything else. And don't let them tell you what to do. They might try and slide off your plate. No, this is your house, all right? Don't let the crackers tell you how to live your life. No, hold on, I'm not ready. All right, so this is where you get to have like the creativity that we were talking about. For this specifically, because it's Halloween, we want to go like spooky ooky craziness. So I'm going to do a lot of weird diagonal cuts and kind of throwing things into spaces. And the reason for that is I don't want it to look, boring, essentially. So I'm going to start with these really big crackers. These are the biggest ones that we have. I'm going to just kind of trail them down the board like this. And I do want them to be laying on top of each other. There's still going to be some type of like cohesiveness to everything, but you do want to play with angles. At least I want to play with angles. You can do whatever you want. And then with this, I'm going to add in some of these crackers, and I'm going to go at this little diagonal angle. These crackers are much smaller, so they're going to fill a smaller line space. And you want to leave just a little bit of space between all your crackers from one cracker to the other, and the reason for that is that's leaving like a trail of space for your meats. Okay, and go down here, like this one, go down here. This one's going to be an up and down one. That. And then our cheese crackers, because they don't really stand up well, just going to put them in a little bit area, like right here. And this is going to be their home. All right. So then when it comes to the type of meats that you want to get a nice variety of different shapes and thicknesses, I guess. So here I have prosciutto that I've just kind of folded into each other, and this will be nice to fit into the smaller spaces. And here I have just standard hard salami, and here I have peppered salami. You can see on the sides it's peppery. So I'm gonna start with the larger pieces first. And again, you can do this however you want. I'm gonna make a little flower because I'm an adult. Salami flour. Wow. Only a flower a mother could love. Now, you see that we have tons of open space over here? Like a little divots everywhere. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take some pomegranates and you're just gonna sprinkle them on. You can sprinkle them anywhere. This is more of a, wow, sprinkle them on your counter. But this is more of just like a pop of color. The red is going to, it's fine. Look, I'm not here to tell the pomegranates how to live, all right? But it's just gonna add a nice pop of color because we have a lot of browns and purples on the board. And I think that's just gonna look nice.
I think this would make an awesome Christmas platter also. You can just switch out this accent piece, and I like the color of the pomegranate seeds. Very festive.
Very festive. All right, and then lastly, I have some raspberries and blackberries here. And once again, these have been washed and you're just gonna place them. Since they're bigger, you can't just like slam them down. So just put them in little, larger pockets of empty space just to fill it in. Right, and then lastly on the side, I have that gorgeous brie strawberry reduction that we made. Put a little spoon here. People can use a spoon for it, or they can just dip their chips right in there, you know, I'm not the police. And then here I just have some pecans because I honestly just like pecans. And when we were buying groceries for them, I decided to throw them in. All right, now comes the fun part where you can experiment with what you want. So I'm gonna start with a large cracker. I'm gonna take a little bit of this blueberry goat cheese. Oh my God, he's loose. And I'm just gonna take a little bit because I am gonna be using the brie as well as my topper. Just smear it, a little smear like a bagel. Put that back, and then I'm gonna take a little bit, just a small piece of the prosciutto, put him on there, like that. I'm gonna take a couple pecans, just so I can validate them being in this video. And then lastly, I'm gonna take just a little bit of this brie strawberry reduction we did as the topper. And that's mine.
Okay, so it's my time to step up to the plate, and I'm going to go with one of these. I guess they're veggie crackers, and I too am going to try this goat cheese. I will also throw a blackberry on the counter.
Counters get hungry too, it's all right. We must appease the kitchen gods.
And I'm going to go with, which one is this?
That's the pepper salami.
And I have 3 pieces on here, and since I don't want to put my germs on there, I'll just take the whole thing.
A trooper.
And a little bit of the sauce. Not very fancy. This is mine. Okay, so it's time for the taste. Go ahead, Brittany.
Oh!
Casualty.
Now I'm going to go in for my taste. Oh my goodness.
That really reduction.
That's really good. I like the salty taste of the cured meats, and it balances very nicely with the creaminess and sweetness of that reduction that Brittany made. Jess, do you guys want to come and give it a taste?
Okay, so they asked me to come try this stuff, so I'm here. It's your boy. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take this herb. I think this is an herb situation. And I'm gonna take this goat cheese because everyone seems to think that it's the crap. So you know, who am I to say no to what's in fashion right now? I think I'm also gonna do this salami here. And I'm really interested in this wine cheese. I can't smear it. Sorry, Brittany.
It's all right.
We can't all be perfect.
Not like me.
And then I'm gonna try this reduction because I have a feeling it's gonna be fire.
Everything I make is fire.
Oh no.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay guys, we are so delighted that you decided to join us for all of this mischief that we got into today, but it's very tasty.
Delicious.
Brittany,
Mom.
thank you so much for helping me.
Happy to be here.
And everybody wish Brittany safe travel. She'll be moving away and leaving us.
Gotta go Seattle.
And she's moving to Seattle from Texas. So send good vibes.
Bye.
Bye guys.